Welcome to another movie plot and enjoy the memories. We open during a baseball game with the visiting team Babe and the Ballgirls. They tour America with their manager and coach Midnight, who bet $1,000 on this match, so they better not lose. His eldest daughter Babe is the pitcher and his youngest Mickey the catcher, while standing between them is the booze-drinking prince of backwoods Roy. He's captain of a group of rednecks who are more interested in groping the girls as they round the bases than playing ball. Roy's father Minnow watches his deadbeat son strike out and is on his way to losing $1,000 to Midnight in front of all his slack-jawed friends. The hicks from the sticks begin to get desperate, so the doofus in a wrestling shirt named Holt decides to cheat. When Connie comes into second, he trips her over in hyper slow motion, then celebrates with a pelvic thrust, but the loser is still down by 7. When Stoney tries to steal Roy's base, he elbows her in the face, activating the slow-mo again, so Midnight threatens to turn him into a popsicle. This only makes the girls want to beat the cousin brothers even more, so on the next play Donna requests the ball for a little payback. As Roy rounds the bag, she torpedoes the ball into the one between his legs, then celebrates with Ingrid, who needed a name drop somewhere. The cracking of the eggs signifies the end of the game, and Babe's Ballgirls win with a blowout score of 17-2. Minnow calls over his own Ballgirl to go right past disappointed father and tell Roy that he straight up sucks with a punch to the stomach. When the 40-year-old man-child leaves, Midnight comes over to collect his earnings, but Minnow says he will have somebody deliver what he's owed.
I'll see you around.
Double entendre aside, the girls hit the showers and stand around naked while Wanda rants about G-spots because this movie was written by 4 men. Another girl, Louise, celebrates owning a thong or something, while the sisters wonder when Dad will stop hustling hillbillies. The last player, Shorty, notices one of the local drunks has wandered into the ladies' bathroom to take a peep at what's not on offer. They decide to have a bit of fun with Vern and give the horny old man a cold shower when their own horny old man arrives. It turns out that Vern was sent wearing his check as in the mail hat to tell Midnight that Minnow isn't going to pay him the $1,000. Coach tells the girls to strip the happy messenger to make sure he didn't steal it, then goes down to the bar to collect his winnings. It's got everything a growing bumpkin needs, from topped-up highballs of whiskey straight up to a Confederate flag overlooking the arm wrestling table. We learn that Holt is big for nothing when he loses a show of strength to Roy, whose father can finally be proud of him for something. When Minnow goes to the bathroom, Midnight catches him alone on the crapper and forces him at gunpoint to hand over the money. He pays in full, but then bare-bottom boots Coach across the room and charges him without even pulling up his pants. Midnight just trips him over, then pistol whips Minnow, and if that's not enough, gives him a bath in the toilet bowl to cool off. He then returns to the bus, but Mickey and Connie got bored of waiting and left to find their missing coach/father. They run into Roy and his boyfriend, who just so happen to be out on the prowl for a couple of vulnerable girls to subjugate. Naturally, the predators begin ripping at their clothes like feral zombies, but Midnight comes around the corner with a Louisville Slugger. Along with the help of Connie, he manages to successfully defend his daughter, but Roy stabs the old man because psychos sometimes do that. Even he gets worried that he just messed up, but before he can run away, the rest of the girls arrive and Babe shoots him in the thigh. They all rush Midnight back to the bus and attempt to drive to the nearest hospital, but he bleeds to death over $1,000. The lunatics Roy and Holt grab guns out of a nearby truck and open fire on the bus, killing Wanda and 100% of our non-white cast. The uncontrolled vehicle crushes Roy between a couple of dumpsters because he was too stupid to move before Babe takes the wheel and drives off. Holt breaks the bad news to Minnow that their silly antics got his only son killed, so the father offers $1,000 for every Ballgirl killed. The whole town goes out hunting because that's a whole lot of whiskey and radio ahead to a gas station before the girls arrive. Babe goes in to use the payphone, but mechanics try to capture the girls alive for whatever reason, despite the deal being for dead. The baseball team uses their endless supply of bats to keep the creeps off the bus, while Babe uses a thin plastic container. It somehow works and she escapes, while Ingrid drives slowly down the road fending off hillbillies who all forgot their guns, I guess. Connie even puts a bullet between one dude's eyes, while Babe uses those long legs of hers to catch up to the bus. They continue driving, but somewhere down the road Holt and Vern are waiting for them to pass while reciting some poetry.
Vern, you can't beat your own meat.
I can beat it better than you can.
Seeing the bus drive past, the boys take off in hot pursuit while Vern fires bullets into it and the girls duck for cover. Holt has been watching too many action movies and decides to leap onto the back of the bus while his drunk friend takes the wheel. Shorty shoots the front of the truck, causing him to veer off the road and crash, while Holt fires through the roof at them. Fortunately, they come up on a bridge and Babe manages to shake him off, but unfortunately the Mongoloid has a soft landing in water. The girls continue until reaching a redneck roadblock, so Babe says we should get out and walk the rest of the way through the woods. Donna argues that they should stay here and fight, but the team isn't called Donna and the Ballgirls, so put your hiking boots on, ladies. They leave the corpses on board, then begin hiking through some backwoods in Alabama as played by the Sequoia National Park. The reason why nobody was waiting at the roadblock is that Minnow gave the girls a head start because he wants to hunt them for fun. Stoney is still concussed from Ray giving her the chicken wing, so she falls behind and gets crossbow bolted to a tree by the father. Babe returns only to find her nailed to a beautiful young sequoia, so alerts the girls that somebody is out here hunting them. The blondes want to get revenge for one of their own kind, so they set a trap while the four brunettes walk ahead in some weird follicle division. Donna and Louise hide in some bushes while Shorty gets hers out as bait, and who should happen to come along first but Vern. While he's rubbing his grub in the shrub, Donna lynches Vern from a tree, which wasn't much of a trap, but hey, it worked. He dies along with most of the liquor sales in this county when Holt comes across them next, but I think this dude bats for the other team. Louise sneaks up and pokes him off a cliff instead of grand slamming his cranium, but this man is like an anchor and keeps landing in water. He survives floating face down because he must breathe out of his rectum, then returns to the greater hillbilly mob without announcing himself. They almost turn him into Swiss cheese because there's a sound in them their bushes, then ask him if there's any more hoedowns, but I don't think they mean the dance. This group just got finished raiding the bus and sniffing the ladies' underwear, so are now tracking them like a pack of human bloodhounds. They walk right towards another trap set by the three non-brunettes, but Minnow sneaks up behind the girls and takes out Shorty with his crossbow. He's about to kill the other two when Holt says they should use them for bait, but who gave this numbnuts the brains of the group? Minnow decides to let the hard-up hillbillies have their fun with Louise while using her for bait, but goes hunting Donna himself when she runs away. The yokels go full I spit on your grave, and it gets pretty graphic until Babe comes sneaking up behind them with her war club. She domes two hicks including Holt while Ingrid shoots another two, and they escape with Louise from this scene straight out of Deliverance. Hardhead Holt survives because there was nothing inside to damage, as well as another hick who shoots the fleeing Louise in the back. She tells them to leave her, but they refuse to go until she bleeds out, and they run off having just wasted a couple minutes. Because of this, another Billy catches up for a shootout, but the two just wait behind a tree, then leap out and beat him like he does his wife. When Holt comes across the body, he says the girls won't get away with this, but he's been saying that ever since the Raymond sandwich. Donna is the last blonde in Sequoia and almost gets shot by generic redneck number 47, but Minnow kills his own cousin brother because he really doesn't want to pay that $1,000. He then throws a knife, but he isn't a ninja, so hits Donna in the leg while she center masses him with her gun and calls it a day. The cowboy lays down his head to sleep off a bullet hole while Donna regroups with the others who are hiding out in a fog-shrouded forest. There's only a few hunters left, but instead of just shooting one, Donna scratches his face, then hits him with the gun before remembering how it works. The last recognizable player from the opening ballgame is a large yoked yokel that Ingrid also hits with a loaded rifle before shooting. Only Holt remains, but the moron disarms himself when he trips over a corpse, so Babe and the ballgirls don't even have to do anything. They just prepare to execute him when Mickey casually comes strolling up like she forgot they're being hunted and gets herself captured. The team are forced to drop their weapons lest her neck be snapped like Ray's spine, but the catcher gives the traditional hand signal of throw a rock. Her pitcher sister hurls a fastball right into Holt's hard head, but that thing's indestructible, so Connie finishes him off with some bullets to the chest. The surviving girls eventually reach an abandoned campsite, but Donna isn't able to continue because she got attacked by that ninja. The others lay her down in a cabin to rest while Babe goes looking around the other buildings for a phone, but comes across blood dripping from the ceiling. Minnow survived his gut shot and begins firing his crossbow at the girls through a cabin window, so they shoot back with actual weapons. Babe runs outside as a distraction or possibly just in fear, but either way this guy couldn't hit a moving target if it was coming towards him. He just gives up and goes after Babe with a pocket knife, but she has a gun and this cowboy knows that it's loaded. Minnow the moron still pops out of the same cover twice, getting himself shot, but fortunately for him it's only in the leg, and Babe has now run out of bullets. She climbs a ramp up to a grain silo, but Minnow pursues her and the low angle shots just give him more motivation. He catches up and tries to knock her off the edge, but Babe pokes him in the eyeballs, then kicks him in the groin balls. She then runs inside the silo and does the classic wait around the corner technique for the predictable villain to walk right past. Babe then kicks him off the ledge the same way that Minnow ballsed out her father, and he falls to a death that he can't just sleep off this time. That's why the victor's name is the one on the side of the bus, and she walks all the way down the ramp because it's too rusty to slide. Babe regroups with the ballgirls before leaving as we get a montage of all the victims ending with Midnight, who should have just let the bet go. And the movie ends.